Previously, on Secrets, Crimes, and Audiotape.
Moira is no longer with us. She's gone. During exercises, she asked to go to the washroom.
Anne Elizabeth! Anne Elizabeth, the toilet's overflowing!
She walked straight out of the front door and disappeared. When you go from this place to answer your calling, to take your positions in your designated households, it is not the husbands you have to watch out for. It's the wives. You must realize that they are defeated women. They have been unable to...
From Wondery, this is Secrets, Crimes, and Audiotape. I'm your host, David Reinstrom. What's your secret? My secret is that I am unsure if I've ever eaten falafel. We rejoin the nightmare dystopia of The Handmaid's Tale, as our heroine is assigned to her latest posting as a handmaid. This is part 3 of our series, so if you haven't heard the first 2 episodes, I'd recommend listening to them in order. In the totalitarian world of the Republic of Gilead, suitable women who are capable of bearing children are assigned to procreate with wealthy men of faith, whose barren wives must raise the infants born of their union. This is our protagonist's 3rd placement without success. A handmaid who cannot bear children is an unlucky handmaid indeed. She will be severely punished. Now we understand the chilling greeting they exchange. Blessed be the fruit. This is part 3 of The Handmaid's Tale.
Not so many years ago, classrooms would be filled with the happy, smiling faces of children. It was not unusual for a single class to have as many as 40 children in it. Ex-music teacher David Warren remembers teaching in the late 1990s.
I always wanted to get up in the mornings. I enjoyed my job. I liked working with kids, but I don't think any of us really understood how privileged we were. We were the last generation of teachers ever to experience a classroom of children. Can you imagine? 30 children in a room together? My word.
So, you're the new one.
Blessed be the fruit.
Indeed. Well, you might as well come in. Shut the door behind you. In here.
Kids are so quick to learn. We used to do shows, musicals, for parents to come and see. All the kids.
They said I would never walk. That I would spend the rest of my life in a wheelchair. I proved them wrong.
What happened?
An attack. Got shot here in the hip. Fanatic.
That's terrible.
It happens. So, let's have a look at you. You stand here where I can see you. So, old what's-his-face didn't work out then?
No, ma'am.
Tough luck on him. This is your 2nd, isn't it?
3rd, ma'am.
Oh, not so good for you either. Pass me my cigarettes.
Hello and God bless. I'm Mike
Ma'am.
Moore.
On the table.
This is the Gilead with God World News Hour. Coming up, food shortages may soon be over with the near capture of countless gorillas in the Appalachian Highlands. Birth rates are up for the 2nd year running. And sport, weather, and business news all coming up in the next hour in the Gilead with
What are you looking at?
World News Hour with me, Mike.
Nothing, ma'am.
Stay tuned.
Have you never seen a cigarette before?
Of course. Just not for a long time.
It's one of the perks of my position. As a wife. A wife. Would you like one? Go on.
Handmaidens don't smoke, ma'am. It is not conducive to childbirth.
Oh, very good. Look, I know you're not stupid. I've read your file. Now, as far as I'm concerned, this is like a business transaction, but if I get trouble, I'll give trouble back. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
I can hit you, you know, if I want to. There's scriptural precedent.
Yes, ma'am.
Don't call me ma'am. You're not a domestic. As for my husband, he's just that. My husband. I want that perfectly clear. To death do us part, it's final.
Yes.
It's one of the things we fought for.
Praise the Lord.
Indeed. We have one domestic here, Rita. She cooks and cleans. She doesn't do shopping. That's your role. It'll be good for you to get out from time to time. You can liaise with her. My husband also has a driver, Joseph. He helps fix things around the house, too, so if something's bust, tell Rita and she'll get Joseph round. I think that's all.
Babies are down 4%, praise the Lord.
I want to see as little of you as possible.
Average of 3 in 10 pregnancies now leads to a health.
I expect you feel the same way about me.
2 in 10 last year.
You can go to your room now, Offred.
Report from Connecticut where the biggest increase.
Rita will show you.
Thank you.
Experts say the decrease in unbabies, or shredders, is due to a dramatic decrease in radiation contamination seeping across from the Badlands. Here in Connecticut alone, doctors and midwives are working around the clock with a record.
My name isn't Offred. That's the name they gave me. They give me a different name at each house. At the last one, it was of Stephen. Before that, of Bill. Of Stephen, of Bill. I guess the owner of this house, the commander, is called Fred. I have another name, which nobody uses now because it's forbidden. I tell myself it doesn't matter. Your name is like your telephone number, useful only to others. But what I tell myself is wrong. It does matter. I keep the knowledge of this name like something hidden, some treasure I'll come back to dig up one day. I think of this name as buried. This name has an aura around it, like an amulet, some charm that survived from an unimaginably distant past. I lie in my single bed at night with my eyes closed, and the name floats there behind my eyes, not quite within reach, shining in the dark.
Blessed be the fruit.
May the Lord open.
Are you ready to go?
Yes.
We aren't allowed to go shopping except in twos. This is supposed to be for our protection, but the truth is that she is my spy, as I am hers.
The war is going well, I hear.
Praise be,
We've been sent good weather.
which I receive with joy.
Blessed be the fruit.
Blessed be the fruit.
May the Lord open.
This is a beautiful May day. They've defeated more of the rebels since yesterday.
Praise be. What were they?
Baptists. They had a stronghold in the Blue Hills. They smoked them out.
Praise be. Sometimes I wish she would just shut up and let me walk in peace. I want to think. God, I wish my friend Moira was here.
Hi.
Hi.
Blessed be the fruit.
May I inspect your passes,
The
please?
barrier is patrolled by 2 guardians.
Thank you.
Guardians
Thank
of the faith.
Please wait here.
Wait there.
This one is very young, all zits and a fluffy mustache. The young ones are often the most dangerous, the most fanatical, the jumpiest with their guns.
May the Lord go with you. Have a nice day.
Doctors lived here once. Lawyers, university professors. Luke and I used to walk together, sometimes along these streets. We used to talk about buying a house like one of these. An old, big house, fixing it up.
Follow me, please.
Today there's a group of Japanese tourists on a tour.
This is the heart of Gilead. You'll notice that the women are dressed in different colors. Blue for the wives, red for the handmaids, domestics wear green. This is a very structured and religious society.
What did I wear then, in the old days? Shorts, jeans, jogging pants. Do you have any oranges?
Not today.
How about grapefruit?
Forget it. All that stuff comes from Florida. We got nothing from Florida. The terrorists have gotten the railway line again.
I guess I'll have 2 pounds of apples then.
Let me check the storeroom.
Hello. I saw you walk in.
Janine.
Of Warren. I'm of Warren now. This is your partner?
This is of Glen.
Blessed be the fruit. May the good Lord open. I have some news.
What?
I've just come from the doctor's. I'm expecting.
Oh, blessed be. Congratulations.
Thank you. I just had to come over and tell you.
I'm glad you did.
And how are things going with you?
Fine.
Nothing happened yet, huh?
Not yet.
Oh, and this is your 3rd posting and all.
No more apples.
What have you got?
If I were you, I'd get some
Yeah,
help.
some beans.
You know what I mean?
Well, we'll take a couple pounds of beans.
You have a nice day now.
Under his eye?
Under his eye.
I need to go to All Flesh, get some chicken.
Excuse me, ladies.
Blessed be the fruit.
They're asking if they can take your picture.
Take photograph,
No?
please. Can we?
It's not allowed.
It's not allowed. The women here have different customs. That is why they cover themselves up. To stare at them through the lens of a camera is for them an experience of violation. I'm sorry?
Do they have freedom? Freedom? They are free? Freedom.
Oh, okay. Excuse me, miss. They want to know, are you happy?
Yes, we are very happy.
She says yes. The people here lead a very disciplined lifestyle. It's what they choose. We should respect that.
Thank you very much.
All right,
Thank you.
follow me. We're now going into the center of Gilead, and I would ask you to respect the customs of this place. My ladies, covering yourselves up and putting on the gowns provided at the entrance.
Are you ready to go back yet?
Can we go via the church?
All right. But I know as well as she does that she isn't really interested in the church. She wants to see who's hanging from the wall.
These 2 are doctors, look. Angel makers.
Angel makers.
Abortionists.
People still do that? Why would anyone want to now?
You don't know anything, do you?
What do you mean?
They would have been abortion doctors in the old world. They go through all the hospital records, find out who they all were. They catch up with them eventually.
But what they did wasn't a crime in the old world.
Wasn't against the law, you mean? It was still a crime in the eyes of the good Lord.
The bags over the heads make the men look like dolls on which faces have not yet been painted. But on one there's blood which has seeped through the white cloth, where the mouth must be. It makes another mouth, a small red one, like the mouths painted with thick brushes by kindergarten children. A child's idea of a smile. We should go back.
Yes. Offred, it's a beautiful May day.
Yes. Praise be. It's curious how words and phrases jump out at you from some distant past. Mayday used to be a distress signal a long time ago in one of those wars we studied in high school. Mayday, Mayday. For pilots whose planes had been hit, and ships. Was it ships too? At sea. It was Luke who told me where it came from. It's nothing to do with the month of May, he said. It's French. A day, help. Mayday, help me.
May Day mornings fill me with hope and joy, do you know what I mean?
It's the Lord's doing.
Of course. That's what I mean. We better get back.
My room. A chair, a table, a lamp, a single bed, a wardrobe. Nothing takes place in the bed except sleep, or no sleep. The window only opens partly, and the glass is shatterproof. I decided to explore the room. I didn't want to do it all at once. I wanted to make it last. I divided the room into sections in my head. I allowed myself one section a day, which I would examine with the greatest minuteness. I hear Moira's voice in my head saying I'm crazy, but I do it anyway. One day I found, on the wall behind the wardrobe, scratched with a pin or maybe just a fingernail, a picture. Like a child's matchstick drawing. A man with a beard, a woman with dots all over her round face, like freckles, a child, and a dog. I wonder who she was, or is, and what became of her. Perhaps I will try to find out.
I want you to think of God as a national resource. He's always been there, ready to...
The commander's wife seems more relaxed with me recently. Sometimes in the evenings when the commander is still at work, she allows me to watch television with her.
Is it any surprise that the forces of evil were able to pervade? Is it any surprise the world got contaminated?
You recognize me, don't you?
I'm sorry, I don't understand.
You know who I am? Not now, but before.
Before? I think so.
From TV?
Were you?
Serena Joy. That's me. Did you ever watch any of my shows?
Oh, yes.
I was on TV every day. Like him. Everyone loved me. I was invited to speak all over the country. Yeah. I guess those days are over now. My work's been done.
You may be asking yourselves now.
Still, I don't know if I've ever received the full recognition I deserved for what I did.
Why, all of a sudden, is it so hard to procreate? Well, think about it.
So I was living in the household of the TV evangelist Serena Joy.
Yeah.
Things were worse than I thought. How she has aged.
Is it really any surprise that he said, "Hey, bud, if you don't want my gift, I'll take it back"?
The first time I saw her on television, I was 8 or 9. It was when my mother was away at demonstrations, fighting for women's rights and stuff. I sometimes stayed at my grandmother's place. On Sunday evenings, she would always watch the Growing Souls Gospel Hour. Serena Joy was the lead soprano. She could smile and cry at the same time, a tear sliding gracefully down her cheek as if on cue, as her voice lifted through its highest notes, tremulous, effortless. It was after that she went on to other things.
Hello, and welcome to the Serena Joy Show. Today we look at the tragic cost to family life of women who go to work. Join me for the next half hour as we debate women's responsibility to become better homemakers. That's straight after this commercial break.
Serena Joy was never her real name, not even in the old world. Her real name was Pam. I read that in a profile on her in a news magazine, Time or Newsweek.
Don't be fooled by the lies peddled by leftist feminist manipulators who tell you that you've got to have equal this and equal that. For too long, they have had it all their way. Don't be swayed by their lies. Be suspicious when they try to influence you with their ever so reasonable manner. Don't be fooled.
These people have already submitted to the devil, and they want to destroy you and your family. Oh.
She wasn't singing anymore by then. She
Oh,
was
yes, my
making
friends.
speeches. Oh, she was good at it.
Look, there is no equal.
Her speeches were about the sanctity of the home and about how women should stay there.
God intended women to be the nest builder, to look after the family, to stay at home, and I think that all of you know that in your hearts.
But Serena Joy didn't stay at home herself. She made speeches instead and presented this failure of hers as a sacrifice she was making for the good of all.
Can you tell me why you have come here today?
Absolutely, I sure can. We're here to protest against the slaughtering of unborn babies.
Around that time, someone tried to shoot her.
And I know that most of America supports us, and let me tell you, we are not moving. We will blockade this clinic, this house of murder for as long as it takes.
And what do you hope to achieve?
We want people to realize what is going on, and if the police drag us away, that is fine. Look, we know who's doing these operations. We have got a register of names and addresses of all the doctors who have carried out abortions, and you know what? They are not going to get away with it.
Is that a threat?
No, sir, it is a principle. If you commit a crime, one day you're gonna get punished. Let me make this clear. This is murder. This is murder. This is murder. One day the preborn are gonna receive justice.
Man, evil bitch! What's going on here?
The reporter was killed. But Serena Joy survived. She called it a miracle. She doesn't have a TV show anymore. She doesn't make speeches. She doesn't go to work. She stays in her home, looks after her garden. But it doesn't seem to agree with her. She fought for women to stay at home. How furious she must be now that she's been taken at her word.
With whoever we pleased, to have children when it suited us, not when it suited the Lord.
That's enough
to
now.
control the most precious gift He gave us.
I think we both need to get some rest. Tomorrow's the big day.
Yes. I'll go back to my room. May I ask you something?
What?
The last one who stayed in my room before me,
Which one?
the one with freckles.
You knew her.
Yes, I knew her before. We were at the Rachel and Leah Re-Education Center together. I heard she was here.
She didn't work out.
She wasn't successful?
She didn't work out.
Oh. I'll go back to my room then. I sit in my room. I want Luke here so badly. I want to be held and told my name. I repeat my former name, remind myself of what I once could do, how others saw me. I want to be with someone. But I try not to think too much. Like other things now, thought must be rationed. There's a lot that doesn't bear thinking about. Thinking can hurt our chances. Once a month, I'm taken by Joseph to the doctors for tests. Urine, hormones, cancer smear, blood tests.
We're here, ma'am.
The same as before, except now it's obligatory.
No, don't try the door. It's locked. I'll come around and open it.
Try to relax. Breathe in. Breathe out. Thank you. When is your next ceremony?
Tonight.
Good. Good. I see from your file that this is your third posting.
Yes.
Nothing happened?
No, nothing.
Shame. You're in good shape as far as I can tell, and you had a child before in the old world.
Yes. Yes, I did. Daisy.
I'm sorry.
No,
I didn't mean to upset you.
It's all right. It's just that I miss her.
I understand.
May I get dressed now?
I could help you.
What?
I could help you. I've helped others.
Help me how?
How do you think? The door's locked. No one will come in. They'll never know it isn't his. Most of these old guys can't make it anymore, or they're sterile. Lots of women do it. You want a baby, don't you? It'd only take a minute.
It's too dangerous.
You don't have a lot of time left. If you don't succeed this time, they'll send you off to the colonies. But it's your life. Think about it. Perhaps next month?
Yes.
21st Battalion of the Angels of Light. 46 guerrillas are captured and
Come
marched
in,
out of the
Offred.
forest. They will be taken to a detention center where they will be tried and sentenced. It's been a
My
long
husband is
campaign
late as usual, so you might as well sit down.
and it's another successful mission over, another job well done.
I thought we could use this opportunity to straighten a few things out.
Is it cold out there? It's freezing, my man. In fact, it has been the cold and the
Now, I don't know how things were conducted at your previous postings. I don't care. But in this household, you should know that we take a strictly orthodox approach. The ceremony is a means to an end, that's all it is. You don't have to enjoy it, you don't have to like it. I would prefer it if you didn't. No moaning, no thrusting, no crying out. Just keep your mouth and eyes shut. You understand?
Yes.
That's all that's required. Just shut yourself off. Pray or something. Yes?
Yes, I understand.
An underground espionage ring has been cracked by a team of eyes working with an inside informant. The ring has been smuggling precious national resources over the border to Canada. 5 members of the heretical
Good evening.
Quakers have been arrested, and more arrests.
I hope I haven't kept you waiting too long.
We've been watching the news.
Chad McLeod was at the scene.
Good.
The eyes burst through the door at 5 this morning. The Quakers put up little to no resistance, but one was shot as he
Rita?
tried to make his escape. He died later in hospital.
Bring me the good book.
There has
And a
been
glass of water.
encouraging news from the besieged city of Detroit, which we have been reliably informed is soon to surrender to our forces. It's been a long and sustained campaign, and the controversial bombing of the city seems to have worked. The commander leading the offensive, Reverend General David No.
Rachel was childless, and when she saw that she bore Jacob no children, she became jealous of her sister and said to Jacob, "Give me children or I shall die." And Jacob said angrily to Rachel, "Can I take the place of God who denied thee children?" And she said, "Here is my slave girl Bilhah. Lie with her, and she shall bear upon my knees, that I may also have children by her." And so she gave him her slave girl Bilhah, and Jacob lay with her.
Praise be.
Praise be.
Yes. Shall we go upstairs?
Oh, dear Lord.
What I could see if I were to open my eyes would be the large white canopy of her 4-poster bed, suspended like a sagging cloud above us. Above me, towards the head of the bed, she is arranged outspread, her legs apart, I lie between them, my head on her stomach, her pubic bone under the base of my skull, her thighs on either side of me. She holds my hands to signify that we are one flesh, one being. The rings of her left hand cut into my fingers. It may or may not be revenge. The commander is preoccupied like a man humming to himself in the shower. Like a man who has other things on his mind. It's as if he's somewhere else waiting for a bus to arrive. God, there's something hilarious about this whole situation. I hear Moira in my head. She's killing herself, laughing. But I don't dare laugh. I don't dare.
Thank you. I'll leave you to rest now.
Yes. You can get up now. Get up and get out.
And this is what I do when I'm back in my room. I take off my clothes and put on my nightgown. I look for the pat of butter in the toe of my right shoe where I hid it after dinner. Much of it is sunk into the paper I wrapped it in. I rub the butter over my face, work it into the skin of my hands. There's no longer any hand lotion or face cream. Not for us. As such things are considered vanities. We are containers. It's only the insides of our bodies that are important. This was the decree of the wives. This absence of hand lotion. They don't want us to look attractive. For them, things are bad enough. Nobody dies from lack of sex. It's lack of love we die from. All the people I could love are dead or elsewhere. Who knows where they are now or what their names are now? They might as well be nowhere, as I am for them. It was after the chase from the border where we had tried to cross. There was the dirt road and the woods, and we jumped out of the car and began to run. Me, Luke, and Daisy. Somehow we got separated in the chase. I don't know what happened to Luke.
Stay where you are. Do not get up. Don't put your arms. Put your arms out in front of you.
Don't. No, it's okay. It's all right, honey. It's okay. Don't take my child. No, where are you taking me?
Shut up!
Don't take my child!
Of all the dreams, this is the worst.
Now you know the horror of the ceremony, sanctioned by the Republic of Gilead and their twisted vision of God. Now you know the victories won for Serena Joy's crusade. Now you know the commander, whose word is law. Stay tuned for scenes from the next episode of Secrets, Crimes, and Audiotape.
You were always so pious.
Well, so were you.
Mayday. Mayday? That's our code word. I tried it on you once. Don't use it unless you have to. It isn't good for us to know about too many of the others in the network, in case you get caught.
I see.
Welcome on board.
But I haven't.
You know about us now. It's too late to turn back.
We're going to be talking about this series online. use the hashtag HandmaidSCA to get the ball rolling. If you liked what you heard today, leave us a review on iTunes. We're aiming for 500 5-star reviews, and when we get them, we'll open a shop. Your reviews help the show grow to reach new audiences. If you're listening on a smartphone, tap or swipe the art panel on your podcast app to unveil our show notes and sponsors. When you support our sponsors, you're supporting us. So thank you. In Part 3 of The Handmaid's Tale, Offred was played by Marcia Dietlin, Serena Joy by Leslie Hendricks, of Glenn by Mireille Enos, Janine by Emma Roberts, The Commander by Earl Hindman, Dr. Peters by Bruce Sabbath, Rita by Shannon Williams, and Mildred by Kristen Marks. The original score was by Sasha Putnam. Sound design was by Nick Russell Pavier. The Handmaid's Tale was directed by John Dryden. It is a Goldhawk production. Thank you for listening to Secrets, Crimes, and Audiotape. The theme song for our series was composed by Mark Hadley. Our editor is Sergio Enriquez. Our executive producers are Jeffrey Glazer and Hernan Lopez for Wondery. Until next time, I'm your host, David Reinstrom. What's your secret?